how to use our continuous Endo series progression in XVCapture. This is the home screen of XVCapture. How do you get here? You arrive here by bridging over from your practice management software. Due to the numerous practice management softwares out there, this is something your team leaders will show you how to bridge over from your schedule. Once you're here, click on Capture Images. And when you need to perform endodontic therapy on a patient, we've got a great layout or progression called the Continuous Endo Series. Continuous Endo Series from this drop-down menu. Let's choose that. Click on Capture Images and select your device. What is the sensor that you're using to take images with? I'm going to choose my simulator. The continuous means it's continual. You can continue to take images for as long as you need during that treatment. Tile 1 is already highlighted. When I click the Start Progression Capture, I can take my image. I now have to tell the software what tooth we're working on. We're working on number 3. Let's click number 3.
Sensor ready.
The sensor gets ready and you take that first image. You can take a second one if you need. You also can turn the sensor off. Left-hand side, that stop capture sequence. When I want to look at an image, I simply go to it and double left click and it'll bring up this enhancement screen. My drop-down menu for my measuring to measure the canal. We will review the calibration in another video, how we calibrate our sensor to our software. In this screen, lower right-hand corner, I can change, manipulate the brightness contrast. I can use all of these tools available to me, a magnifier. But if I change my brightness contrast, it does not save that way when I choose to close out of the screen by clicking on the upper right-hand corner close button. So in an endo case, you'd take 1 or 2 images. When you're ready to take your next image, highlight tile 4. And the difference here, if I decided with my endo cases, I wanted to just to choose that take button, it will ready this tile. You take the image and then it moves on to another tile. Do you want that tile readied? Then I would choose the Start Progression Capture. If you're not so concerned about it, but you want it available for you when you are ready to take your image, then you can just choose that Take Retake. Again, on this image number 4, I can double click, use this tool in the bottom corner for visual purposes only. It will not save that way. Open up my measuring by left clicking on the measure, make my measurements once my sensor is calibrated. Upper right hand corner to close out. Click on tile 5. Your decision here. Do you need that second tile readied? If you don't get a good shot on that angle, you might. That Start Progression Capture readies this tile and it provides and readies that additional tile. You can always turn the sensor off with that Stop Capture series. So you also see here when I highlight any of these images, I'll highlight that number 6. I do have image operations here, and that the advanced image display is also what will bring you to this expanded view where you can just in the screen only kind of manipulate the brightness contrast. The green icon is the gamma, and if you hover over each one of these, you want to zoom in on that, click on the plus sign. Click on that plus sign a few more times. The white cross at the end, when you click on that, then you can bring that down, bring that apex in a zoomed in view. The square makes everything so the entire image is visible. So utilize that toolbar, open up the measuring tool, and make your measurements. When you're finished, let's click the close button. So we've got 6 images here. If we're truly finished with our case, we want our post, our last image. Highlight that tile when you want it to take that image and click on Take Retake. It will ready that one. Either one, you want to choose the Start Progression Capture here or the Take Retake. Depends on what your preference is. When you're finished, let's click Done. We must click Done. This forwards these images to your cloud-based system automatically if you have our newer version 3.5. You'll see that forwarding status in the lower right hand corner. If you've got the version 3.4 where you're having to manually forward them, you would need to click this Save and Go Back button. You see that forwarding status has already gone back to idle. I will be able to find these images in my cloud-based server. So at this point, double click, and this opens up the enhancement screen where we can utilize this tool in the lower right-hand corner. And again, we could make our measurements under labels. So once we're here with this Endo series, the continuous Endo series, an important feature here is that it labels those middle images, typically the ones with the file on the tooth and the rubber dam clamp showing. It labels them as ghosted. You see that word ghosted under the taken date on all of those middle images. Lower left-hand corner of the screen, there's a little icon that looks like a ghost, and I am displaying my ghosted images. Let's uncheck that. When I uncheck that, I am down to my pre-series image 1 and my post-series image 7. So it's the only progression that we have that labels those middle images in the continuous Endo series as ghosted. Do you want to see those middle images? If you do, let's just highlight one of them. I can drag that one to the ghost, and now it will be unghosted, and I'm down to 4. I can click them all, just left click, left click, left click, left click, and drag all of those middle images to the ghost to unghost them. I've selected multiple images. Am I sure I want to perform the toggling ghosting on? Yes. And now all of these images are under that taken modality. With this continuous Endo series, it is completely your call. Do you want those middle images to be ghosted? They will be labeled that way, or you can unghost them by dragging them all to the ghost. It will unghost them. Drag them all back, it will ghost them. If you don't display your ghosted, you're just looking at what is labeled your pre-series and your post-series. That's how we use the continuous Endo series in XVCapture.